know that free men stood against a tyrant, that few stood against many.
Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to be testing the Openxr and DCS using the F-16 in daytime. So as you saw before in my last video, I installed it and basically show you how to run it. So I'm going to start with the VR, the mixed reality portal, then the Openxr tool, and then the Openxr tool kit, and finally the OpenComposite running. So all these are running, but again, you don't have to keep them open. And of course, Steam. So the only thing you have to keep open is Steam. So this you can close and close and close and leave that open and just launch the game. So I'm gonna minimize this, and I created a shortcut for DCS from the bin folder. If you remember the bin folder, this is where the file, the API file that you replaced, and you launch the game from here, or you can just launch it from a shortcut that you create. So I'm just gonna click it and wait for the game to launch. It takes a little bit longer than usual, so but you can see it's working, and Steam VR is not running, just Steam. I will come back and we're going into the VR view. So I will show you my settings and what I got so far. Okay, so here is the game loaded, and I'm going to show you my settings. I can show you that the VR settings that I have. So these are my settings. That's the good thing about Openxr. I can max out pretty much everything. You can see textures high, terrain textures high. Everything is on high. Clouds, ultra. And on the other side, everything is pretty much maxed out. That's the good thing about Openxr. I cannot do this with Steam VR. I won't be able to play it that way. So this is what I had so far, and let me show you how I will look in the F-16. Before I go, I'm just gonna show you that I'm not running Steam VR. So I'm gonna go here, Task Manager, and here it is. You can see DCS is running, but Steam, and it has the well helper thing, but Steam VR is not running. So there we go. I'm gonna close that, and let me show you the frames per second. It's 60 frames per second. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this off, and let me show you how it looks in the game. So this is the opening screen. Let me show you the settings of Openxr. I play with all these settings for a long time, reading and trying to get them all right. I still don't know a lot of things about it, but this is what I got so far. These are the different screens, and I play with most changes, but this is the screen that has the most impact on the game. So this is what I have the settings for. They said that the FPS on the screen slows you down, but I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so here we are in the F-16 going towards the airport, and You can see it's very smooth. I don't know if you can see it, but it is very smooth. Quality is the same quality as SteamVR. Not quite perfect, but the frames per second are very good. Looking here at the wingman and my wings, there's a little flickering on the corner of the tip of the AMRAAMs and in the tank. It's very minor, but it will get worse getting closer to the ground or the airport. So I'm getting close to the airport now. Here in the hut, got a little bit out of right. I'm gonna go by the runway, and also I'm gonna try to put the shadow. I don't know if you can see. I can see the shadow on the ground. The shadows flicker a lot too. So I'm gonna do a flyby here.
Altitude. Altitude.
Try to go low and see if I can get the shadow, because the flickering of the shadows is very intense when you get to the airport. Okay, I don't know if you can see it over there. Right there. Look forward, you see it flickering with the tip of the arm ramps. And everything on the ground
Pull up.
looks pretty smooth. I almost killed myself there. Anyway, but yeah, I was just trying to show you the. Let's see if I can turn right a little bit more to get the sun on the. There you go, right there. You can see the. I don't know if you can see the flickering of the shadow, but not the ground. The ground
Pull up.
is extremely smooth compared to SteamVR. It's trees. See, I'm gonna go to the city over here, turning left at about 370 knots, and you can see banking is just pretty smooth. There's no way you can get this with SteamVR with the settings that I have.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
So where's the wingman? I don't know where the wingman. Where'd he go? I don't know where he is. But anyway, this is the city. Look at the trees. The trees are, like you said before, they're almost maxed out. You cannot do that with SteamVR. I'm gonna go a little high here, but this is a very big city. And you can see the city all the way at the end over there near the mountains. The frames per second with SteamVR would be very bad. I'm turning right now right, about 600 knots, and the HUD symbology, it flickers a little. I mean, you can tolerate it. It's just very minor, but it does flicker. SteamVR does not do that. SteamVR has the HUD solid all the time. And the shadows, of course, will be pretty good. Also, when you look at the wings, there will be no flickering of the wing tips or the tips of the weapons. But then again, something that you gotta live with and decide if you want that or better frames per second. I think I'm gonna stay with Openxr from now on. I can live with that. I don't look at the wings too much. I'm looking forward, left and right. So I'm gonna go back to the airport and land and show you how that will look. See you in a little bit. Alright, so I'm here on final. I'm very heavy. I have all the weapons and the tank is full. I didn't have time to burn fuel, so I'm breaking a lot of rules about this landing, but I just wanted to show you the frames per second with Openxr. Right now everything's pretty smooth, but I want to show you how it behaves when you touch down on the runway. The HUD flickers a lot, and that's the thing that I want to show you the most, because it could be a big problem right now. I don't know if you can see it. It's flickering. You can see the runway is going pretty fast. I'm doing 120 knots down the runway, trying to keep it centered. And the flicker will slow down when you slow down. There it goes. 75 knots, 60 knots, and almost at the end. And there's still a little bit of flickering, but it's very minor. Nose wheel on. Also, you can see the tanks here on the left wing. They flicker a lot. Based on the speed, the faster you go, the more the flicker will be. But here, while you're turning, you will not get this frames per second, this smoothness with Steam VR. It's just cannot even get close to that. And remember my settings, this almost the grass is full to the maximum. The visibility, everything is on high. So I noticed there was that much change between middle and high, so I just send everything to high. Might as well do it if you're gonna get an improvement in frames per second. Taxi lights on. Let me look here to the left wing, and there we can see the flickering is very minor, but it's there. And the grass still okay, full grass. Inside the cockpit, everything's smooth. Everything's smooth inside the cockpit. No complaints inside the cockpit. It's just looking over your wings that you can see a little flickering. Everything outside is pretty smooth. It's all right. These planes. You can see they are completely solid. It's very, very. Let me get close to them. You can hear the left wing. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna stop right here, right next to this big bad boy, and let me show you how it looks outside. Parking brake on. Okay, so let me go outside real quick. So here is, let me close my speed brakes, forgot to do that. So everything looks pretty good. It's just when you move the mouse, right there, I don't know if you see the cockpit, the glass flickers. It's just when you do this. If you stay still and just pan around, it should be fine. But again, you don't get this with SteamVR. SteamVR has the better solid lines, like the edge of the vertical stabilizer will be very smooth, but it's just pretty acceptable, and the frames per second are very, very good. So if you just fly like a real pilot without external views, like I do most of the time, it's a pretty good choice. You can see this guy is coming along. It's very smooth. Frames per second are pretty good. Right there on the side view, a little flickering, but not that bad. Let me go back inside. I never had this with a SteamVR, especially looking right. Oh, you can see a little bit of flickering right there, especially when you're looking right to the side. With the graphics are very demanding, because you gotta model the entire plane as it goes by. A little flickering on the side. So external views will flicker, but everything inside the cockpit is as smooth as can be, as well as the terrain. So that's what I got so far. Of course, the higher you get, the better frames per second you get. But the test that I'm doing right now is to get it to the maximum, which is the ground, with the grass, the trees, and the other planes taken off. Very good so far. This is the end of the day test on the F-16. The next test will be Openxr with the F-16 at night. I'll see you guys later. Fly safe, and I hope this helps.